I want to address this Tennessee school shooting that took place yesterday, I believe. It was at a Christian school. The shooter, 28-year-old, transgender, quote unquote. So it was a woman who mistakenly thinks that she's a man. And it's believed that this person tried to target a Christian school, like was targeting a Christian school. Thoughts? Have you heard about this?
Yeah, so it's kind of wild because when the story first came out and it was a male, they said it was a male shooter.
Gosh.
And I thought, okay, like that makes more sense. But then they say it's female. Like it's very vanishingly rare that a female perpetrates a school shooting. But I think part of this would have to do with the rhetoric. Like I wrote a column last week or the week before on one of these major trans TikTok influencers, I think. Anyways, a social media influencer who's basically talking to young trans people and saying, like, this is literally genocide. There was a story 2 days ago saying, like, red states are denying trans people their existence and all these kinds of things. And with rhetoric saying, like, we're literally being killed, we're literally dying, we're literally suffering from a genocide, it was only really a matter of time before somebody decided to react like, that was in fact happening.
God,
that's horrifying, though.
Yeah, God
I hadn't
bless
realized
these people.
When it's a school shooting, and so this is just to get the facts right, this isn't somebody who's like in her late 20s.
28.
So shooting like 9-year-olds.
She's 28. She's dead.
28.
Yeah, 6 dead, 3 adults, 3 9-year-old children. Reports indicate shooter possessed, maps of the school indicating a premeditated planned attack.
The pastor who runs the church that run the school, his own 9-year-old daughter was lost in the shooting.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
This is also, just real quick, and then I'll
go for it.
Shut up about, but this, I believe, and I was trying to confirm this last night because I was prepping this stuff for Matt to have ready. But if I remember right, and I saw some like things in passing when I was looking through this is the second time in the last 4 years. Well, this is the 4th shooter in the last 4 years that is identified as trans.
Really?
That's been a mass shooter. Colorado Springs at the gay bar.
Right.
And then there was another, and I couldn't find the details, but I do know this. I do remember this, that there was another female shooter who identified as male who was on testosterone.
Oh.
And we also have people as recently as like Jane Fonda on The View saying that the solution to people like pro-lifers taking away.
Yeah.
Like
she backtracked that comment, but it wasn't very convincing.
Besides marching and protesting, what else do you suggest?
Well, it doesn't happen overnight. It's not a miraculous. What did you say? Murder.
She's kidding. Wait a second. She's just kidding.
Don't say that. That's
you don't know. They'll pick up on that and just run with it.
That's the worst.
She's just kidding.
Well, let me talk to you about.
ALX on Twitter is sharing a conversation that took place between a reporter and a police officer.
Is there any reason to believe that how she identifies has any motive for targeting the school?
We can give you that at a later time. There is some theory to that.
So was this a targeted attack?
It was.
Gosh, there's so many ways to just butcher this right now.
Isn't there something like particularly like gut-wrenching about the idea of a woman shooting kids?
To go back to our earlier comment, I think there's something particularly gut-wrenching about watching women destroy each other in a ring for sport. There's particularly gut-wrenching about that. Yes, this is disgusting. This is despicable. This is, how else to say it, just sad enough to make you lose sleep, not to mention these poor mothers and fathers who lost their children.
Yeah.
But see, what this is going to become now is the right harping on the fact that this was someone who's transgender, and the left saying we need gun control.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they're already blaming Tennessee.
They're already blaming Daily Wire. I saw it on Twitter. They pointed out that this is in Nashville. This is where all the anti-trans Daily Wire hosts are from. Yeah, everybody's going to make a mess of it almost immediately.
And then both the left and the right are going to complain about the other side gaslighting them.
Yeah.
What's our response to this? What's our Christian response to this? Other than prayers for the repose of these souls and justice to be done.
One of the things I have not yet figured out is when is the right time in the wake of a tragedy that is so horrific, and it's always more horrific when it involves little kids. Like, when is the right time to actually write a commentary pointing out the political implications of it?
Yeah.
I just don't know.
Yeah.
Because it feels like it feels ghoulish to be like, okay, I write about gender ideology all the time, which I do, to, hop right back on the blog or, write for a magazine, an article on how, see, this is about their rhetoric and stuff like that. I don't know. It feels disrespectful. I don't think it necessarily is, but I don't know. It feels very hard to know what the right thing to do when it's 9-year-olds who got shot. Like, they're little kids.
Yeah, we got another tweet here from End Wokeness. And this person points out not a single headline says the word Christian, transgender, or targeted. And this is he's looking at papers from the New York Times, the Washington Post, Chicago Tribune, and Wall Street Journal. Yeah, well, you'll remember when all of those Christians got killed over Easter Sunday, and then Obama and Hillary tweeted out that Easter worshipers had been killed, right? Like, they'll bend over backwards to avoid portraying Christians as victims, because Christians cannot be victims, because in the culture wars, Christians are those with the oppressive ideology that's creating victims instead.